Good morning. Properties of genetic material. Today we are going to see the properties of genetic material, both RNA and DNA. So already we have studied RNA is single stranded, DNA is double stranded. RNA consists of 4 nitrogenous bases: adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracil. But in DNA, double-stranded DNA, it is nitrogenous base are adenine, guanine, cytosine, but instead of uracil, thymine is a nitrogenous base present. And one more I said, that is the sugar, pentose sugar present in RNA is ribose sugar. The sugar present in DNA is deoxyribose sugar, right? And what is this green structure? The basic strand, the backbone of DNA or RNA, it is formed of sugar, that is the ribose or deoxyribose sugar, and phosphate, that is the backbone. In the middle, you can see the nitrogenous base in the form of base pair, they are present. Okay, now we'll see the different properties of the genetic material one by one. The first one, we'll see the first property is, already we have discussed both RNA and DNA, they act as genetic material. They act as genetic material, isn't it? The properties of genetic material DNA versus RNA. What is this? Tobacco mosaic virus. What is this? Bacteriophages. These are also viruses which attack the bacteria. So bacterial viruses are called as bacteriophages. These bacteriophages, they attack, affect and kill the bacteria such as E. coli, right? So the experiment conducted by Hershey Chase, it indicates that DNA acts as genetic material. Probably not protein, which is the genetic material. DNA acts as genetic material. That experiment already we have seen in the previous class. In some viruses where DNA is absent, instead, what is the genetic material in TMV or tobacco mosaic virus? RNA is the genetic material. Here in bacteriophage, okay, bacteriophage, DNA is a genetic material, but some other bacteriophages, that is, they possess some RNA act as genetic material also. We'll discuss about the various properties one by one. Okay. Now, first point regarding the properties, self-replication. What is replication? Here you can see the double-stranded DNA. It gets unwind. Unwinding means separated as single strand. And each unwinded strand, it can produce a complementary strand. A new strand is a complementary strand. It is formed. First, the double-stranded DNA, it's separated or unwinding of DNA strands, and for each single strand, a complementary strand, complementary new strand is formed. So this is called replication. So both the DNA, RNA, it should be able to replicate. According to the base pairing rule, adenine pairs with thymine, guanine pairs with cytosine. We have studied. Adenine pairs with thymine with 2 hydrogen bond and guanine pairs with cytosine with 3 hydrogen bond. And you can see complementarity. What is complementary? Here if it is guanine pairs with cytosine with 3 hydrogen bonds and thymine with adenine 2 hydrogen bonds. In complementary, here if it is cytosine in this backbone, here guanine. Here thymine attached means here adenine. Like this, complementary base pairs are present in the middle. Both the nucleic acid DNA and RNA have the ability to direct duplication, that is nothing but replication. They can replicate its own strand, but it is complementary to the original strand. What is the complementary means? Here if it is thymine is present, what is the new strand contain? Adenine, right? And here you can see the already existing parental strand consists of guanine. So the new strand consists of nitrogenous base with cytosine. Adenine means thymine. Like this, complementarity is present both in nucleic acid, and both the nucleic acid have the ability to direct or produce their own replica that is called as duplication or replication of DNA as well as RNA. Now we'll see the second property of genetic material, RNA DNA, is stability. Already we have discussed DNA is more stable than RNA because RNA is more reactive, and that's why, and it is involved in various chemical reaction which is more stable, or it possesses stability, means DNA possesses stability. The genetic material, it should be stable enough not to change with the different stages of life cycle. Do not show any changes in our body during various life cycle in our body, in changes stages in the life cycle or in our life, various age, changes in the physiology of the organism. The genetic material, it should not change. It is stable. So throughout our life, our genetic material, DNA or RNA, is stable. Second, heat. It can kill the bacteria but did not destroy some of the properties of the genetic material. So heat killed bacteria. It can does not, or it did not destroy some of the properties of the genetic material. So in the Avery et al. Experiment we have studied, heat killed virulent strain. Okay, and even then it possesses certain properties. That's why it leads to transformation. We are studying every et al. Transformation experiment, how this avirulent strain change into virulent into avirulent strain, like this we are studying. Now in DNA, the two strands being complementary to each other. So in DNA, both the strands are complementary. Complementary means what? Here if it is adenine is yellow color is there, here thymine is there. Okay? And cytosine red color is there, here guanine is there, blue color is there. So both the two strands being complementary, okay, if separated. Separation of two strands of the DNA is called denaturation. Both the strands of the DNA separated means it's called denaturation. It may be by heating. By heating mechanism, both the strands of the DNA unwind and they get separated. And they can come closer together once again. And this process called as renaturation. So denature means separation of the two strands of the DNA, that is called denaturation by heating, and by cooling or by appropriate condition. Both the separated two strands, they come close together, and this process called as renaturation. Okay, yeah. So when appropriate condition, proper condition is that renaturation. Once again, both the separated strands, they join together and that form the double helical DNA strand. Now coming to RNA is unstable, we are studying, isn't it? It is easily degradable. For the two important reasons are the first one, in the 2' position of RNA, hydroxyl group is present. In each and every nucleotide in RNA, it consists of 2' carbon position. The hydroxyl group is there. And that's why it is a reactive, highly active group. It makes the RNA, it is liable as well as easily degradable. That's why RNA is unstable. So which one makes the RNA more reactive, active and catalytic means the 2' position hydroxyl group present in each nucleotide. Okay. Now already we have discussed this hydroxyl group present in 2' position of the carbon atom. It is gives the reactive group. So RNA is now more catalytic and reactive. Now DNA is chemically more stable. Compared to RNA, DNA is more stable and it is chemically less reactive when compared to RNA. So it is DNA is stable and less active or reactive. RNA is unstable but more reactive. And this is also one important part. DNA is stable, RNA is unstable. DNA is less reactive but RNA is more reactive. Okay, these points keep in your mind. And presence of thymine instead of uracil. Already we have discussed presence of thymine as a nitrogenous base in DNA. The thymine is replaced by uracil in RNA. Okay, so this presence of thymine as a nitrogenous base in DNA, this thymine gives more stability, stable nature to the DNA. So already we have discussed why RNA is easily degradable, because in the 2' position hydroxyl group is present in each nucleotide. So that's why RNA is more reactive and easily degradable and stable. So RNA is catalytic and reactive, whereas DNA is stable and chemically less reactive. RNA is unstable and more reactive, okay, which gives the stability. Additional stability to DNA is nothing but the uracil, okay, sorry, the thymine present in the, what is it called, DNA, that gives more additional stability to DNA. Now the third important point regarding the properties of genetic material is information storage. So what is stored? Which genetic information is stored in DNA and RNA? It should be able to express itself in the form of Mendelian characters. The Mendelian characters can be expressed only because of the information storage. The parental characters which are inherited to the progeny because of the Mendelian characters. Okay, RNA, it directly code for protein synthesis and easily express the characters. Okay, RNA, it directly code for protein synthesis. Directly it can involve in protein synthesis and express its character. Okay, and DNA, it expresses the Mendelian characters, that is inheritance of characters, all the genetic characters. DNA depends on RNA for protein synthesis. So RNA directly synthesizes protein, whereas DNA depends on RNA for protein synthesis. What is this meaning? Here you can see, already we have studied central dogma of protein synthesis. What is this central dogma of protein synthesis? This is DNA as a genetic material, deoxyribonucleic acid. It is transcribed into RNA or ribonucleic acid. So RNA is translated and to produce protein synthesis. Okay, this is a main central dogma or equation in protein synthesis. Here RNA directly involved in protein synthesis, whereas DNA depend on RNA for protein synthesis. DNA, it won't produce the protein synthesis directly. DNA depends on RNA for protein synthesis, but RNA directly it involves in protein synthesis. Both the DNA and RNA, they act as genetic material. Both are act as genetic material, but the DNA is more stable and it stores the genetic information. DNA is more stable and it's this DNA double helical structures, it stores the genetic information, whereas RNA, it transfers, not stores, it transfers the genetic information. So DNA is stable and store the genetic information, whereas RNA is involved in transfer the genetic information. Is it clear, ma? Okay. Now this DNA is the important genetic material, more stable and store the genetic information. Now we'll see the next one is variation. What is variation? Changes. Changes occur through mutation. So what is mutation? Mutations are sudden changes. Changes, it occur in DNA or RNA sequence. It may be due to environmental factors, UV rays, or many reasons. Okay, so mutation is sudden changes occur in the RNA or DNA sequence. Okay, so both the RNA DNA are able to mutate. They can able to mutate. They can change their mutation is also leads to variation. New variation occurs. If it is beneficial variation, evolution will occur. If it is harmful variation, it results in lethal or death of the organism also. Now we are saying that coronavirus, it is mutating into a new strain and it is having more infective rate like this. So normal strain of RNA or DNA, when they mutate, their infective rate or their action reaction will be more and multiply, right? RNA being unstable and it mutates at a faster rate. So we know RNA is unstable, okay, and because it is catalytic, more reactive, so it mutates at a faster rate. Okay, RNA containing viruses like coronavirus, they are mutating at a faster rate. Thus viruses having RNA genome with shorter lifespan, they are having very short lifetime, they can mutate very fast and they evolve into a new variety at a faster rate. Now you can understand. So RNA containing viruses, they are having shorter lifespan. They can mutate. Mutate means they sudden changes. It occur in the RNA DNA sequence due to environmental factors, okay, and UV rays or many other chemicals like this. So this mutation or sudden changes in the DNA or RNA sequence that result in the mutation changes or variations, it evolved very faster. So compared to RNA, the DNA is more stable. So it is preferred for storage of genetic information. So DNA is stable and this is preferred for more genetic information. Is it clear, ma? So what are the four important properties of genetic material? Self-replication, stability, information storage, and variation through mutation. So which is more stable? DNA is stable. Which is more reactive and catalytic? RNA. Which one mutates very fast? RNA mutates very fast. So because it has very shorter lifespan. Yes. Thank you.